I do not own the rights to this music. Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron, Sunday School lesson for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. Our reference material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series as published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing Faith and Salvation as the title of the Summer Lesson Series, and it's categorized into 3 units or groups of lessons. In Unit 1, we talked about Jesus teaches about faith. In Unit 2, we talked about faith and salvation. And in Unit 3, we're talking about faith gives us hope. Now, in Faith Gives Us Hope, it operates as the essential ingredient for the hope of eternal life. The hope is based upon faith in Jesus Christ. The faith in Jesus Christ helps us persevere in all circumstances and in all situations. The title of our lesson in the Unit 3 Summer Lesson Series today is titled Keep Going, and that's from Hebrew chapter 10, verse 23. And that verse reads as follows: Let us hold fast the profession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. Now, the title of today's lesson, Keep Going, from Hebrews 10 and 23. The background to today's lesson is the epistle or letter to the Hebrews concerning faith and sacrifice. The lesson for today discusses or explains the supremacy of Christ's sins or sacrifice for sin to any animal sacrifice under the law for the atonement of sins. Animal sacrifice is insufficient to permanently cleanse in sin. Christ's death fulfills God's will. Jesus' death perfects the sanctified, and as Christians, we are to hold fast to our confession or profession of faith or suffer the consequences. There are 3 summary lesson points for today's lesson. The first is people who, and that's from Hebrews chapter 10, verses 23 to 25. The problem what, and that's from Hebrews 10, 26 to 31. And push how, and that's Hebrews 10, 32 through 36. The passages for the lesson today revolve around the key words of faith, hope, forsaken, confession, and truth. Now, faith, we've talked about before, is the complete trust, assurance, belief, or confidence. And in this case, it is our faith in Jesus Christ. Hope is a feeling or expectation and desire for something to happen based on trust, and our hope is based upon Jesus Christ as well. Forsaken means to abandon, leave behind, or to give up. Confession is a profession or acknowledgement, and truth is facts related to God's will or divine revelation. Now, from people who, Hebrews 10:23 through 25, our first summary point. And in these passages, the writer of Hebrews addresses the wavering members of the faith who were considering backsliding or giving up the faith because of pressure from the authorities and ridicule from family and friends. In spite of these challenges, the writer challenges the Jewish Christians to hold on to their faith because God is faithful. Faith must be consistent day in and day out. And we must look for ways to express love to one another about building each other up through acts and deeds. And lastly, reminds them of the importance of fellowship or assembling together as a means to affirm and to reaffirm their faith. And this is what sets members of faith apart from those who do not assemble together. Problem what? Second summary point, Hebrew 10:26 through 31. In these passages of Hebrews, the writer is addressing the problem or consequences of abandoning the faith. Hebrews reminds the Christians of the judgment and wrath of God. Hebrews further reminds them that Christians or believers are held accountable for our willful sins. And willful sins are sins after we know the truth of our confession or profession of our conversion to Jesus Christ, because we are supposed to know and understand right from wrong after our conversion. The committing of willful sin is the rejection of God's mercy and Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, as Jesus' death and sacrifice does not cover willful sins. And willful sinners can expect a severe judgment for the sins we are aware of and continue to disregard right from wrong. Problem what? From Hebrews 10:32 through 36. And in these passages of Hebrew, the writer is addressing the morale of the early Jewish Christians. As a result of struggles and persecution, the believers were wavering in their faith. Now, Hebrew reminds them of the passion that they had displayed when they were initially converted, that they had lost their passion for their conversion or confession of faith, and that this was causing them to waver in their faith in Jesus Christ. There is no need to waver in their faith because they were doing the will of God, which requires endurance through faith, and that they will receive a reward. So those are the summary lesson points for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. People who, from Hebrews 10:23 to 25. Problem what? Hebrews 10:26 through 31. And push how? From Hebrews 10:32 through 36. Thank you for watching. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, August 15th, 2021. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next Sunday for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.